time for the NFC Championship, and the road to a Super Bowl goes through Detroit. It's the Bears and the Lions on Sunday Night Primetime.
This Lion fan base have been craving home playoff football since this building opened in 2002, and they've got it today at Ford Field in Detroit. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. Hello, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The postseason continuing here on EA Sports. And, man, it is electric in here, and it should be conference championship time.
I don't know about you, but my butterflies in my stomach, they have iron wings in this one. And every guy I've ever talked to has all said the same thing. This game, the conference championship game, may have more intensity than even the Super Bowl because you know what the stakes are. You're trying so hard to get to the big game that this is the one that's the real challenge.
One of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. Which will it be as we're underway in the NFC title game? And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
And we can talk all we want about football being a team game and leaning on different parts and aspects in order to get it done. And that's entirely true during the regular season. Some weeks it's the defense, the special teams, running.
Tight end Hockenson. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he rifles one incomplete. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Jennings. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. And boy, before the drive even starts, here's a timeout. Wow. So as they take it over, we step aside. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Read option. Here's Montgomery. And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23. And in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing on 3rd down. Fields. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the Lions will take over. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because
Jennings lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
First carry for DeAndre Swift. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Now on 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. Open man right side is St. Brown. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
On first down, it's Fields. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
On these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right? Where these teams are locked in and going at it. No points going up on the scoreboard. I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. On 3rd down, Jennings. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation. They'll try it now with Swift. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. So they tried it. Not only did they not get the first, they fumbled it away.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it went from bad to worse, but I know that everyone's going to pile in on the call and say, well, what are you doing? Why would you go for it there? I think that teams that are convinced that they feel pretty good about their game plan, what they want to get done that day, go for it. Give it a try. Hey, let's see if your defense can rescue them a little bit.
They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Fields now to throw. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Off play action, Fields. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. From the 39, Fields. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 20-yard line. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that throw behind his man, and missed him, incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Aiden Hutchinson just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Third and long, it's Fields. He'll get this underneath to Montgomery. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? Third down. They just said, we've got faith in our tackles. We'll give you the short stuff. And just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, thanks.
Gonzalez's kick is good, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
3-0 after one on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Now a dump off here complete, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down. Let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Operating from the gun, Jennings. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Back to throw. Jennings. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Nick Bosa. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return, and the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
On second down, Montgomery. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Meanwhile, Fields' throw complete there to Beckham. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
First down, Chicago. First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Going up the gut, Montgomery. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Fields. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. Eluding the pressure right. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 26. And good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on third.
Partner, there's a downside to everything in the danger of man. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage. And that was an astute play by him to scramble.
Back to Montgomery on second down. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a hole right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Now Zane Gonzalez for the field goal try. This one from 35 yards away. Gonzalez's kick is good, and they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal, you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble of bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. Now a play fake here on first down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Roquan Smith coming in for that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's
and pressure coming, and they got him once again. Nick Bosa in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
And he's going to go down again. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Let's take it inside his own 40. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in...
Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. Touchdown, Chicago. Beckham, 54 yards. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And he returns this to the 22. Detroit's offense ready to take over. Right now, they're in some uncharted waters, Charles. They haven't been facing deficits like this season. We're going to see what they're made of.
And I think the easy thing right now is for us to discuss how the home crowd can help them, carry them along. Bottom line, though, they've got to make plays to get the crowd back into it, to help them with the rest of their game. That means best players got to make those big-time plays right now. They need them in a big way.
They fought so hard to be here at home. This should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The offense on 3rd down tonight, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. Jennings flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Roquan Smith. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And they...
It's another one. We got another one. It's her. Who that? Big baby slide through.